Yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the March meeting of the Hong Kong Study Circle and Hong Kong Philatelic Society. It's been a whole month since we last met, and I'm pretty sure that you've got some nice items to show us. I certainly have found something quite interesting. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, right. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
And well, by the way, the meeting is obviously sponsored every time by the Federation of East Asian Philatelic. And here we go. Now you see the first slide, actually, the introductory slide, you can actually see three items. Richard's already come. Okay, maybe it, right. Okay, so the first item on the left, actually, it's, well, maybe you can think it's quite common item with a Lu Kung Tao, a c.d.s, and a boxed Port Edward cancel. But also, it actually fetched quite a bit of money. No, actually, it did not, because it was actually a buy it now item, and somebody bought it fairly cheap. What is so what is so unusual about it? It's one is addressed to Stuart Lockhart. I mean, that's one thing, and it's a bit unusual. Well, not unusual, but a famous person, right? Famous correspondent. And the other thing is actually I believe, I mean, looking at the scan, it's probably a bit difficult to see it from here, but actually from the internet, actually the cancel is actually in black, which is far less common than most of the cancels are in blue. So I mean, somebody got lucky and just buy it now for a very reasonable price for it. Okay, the middle one, you can see a slogan, which is the Hong Kong University, under the Hong Kong University, the Chinese University, I mean, so the Chinese University slogan, which was used for about a week, and on the postcard, and it was in a mixed lot with another very common item, and I'm very surprised that it actually fetched a big sum of money, because I believe that the Chinese University slogan is quite popular amongst Hong Kong slogan collectors. So it's well worth looking, in the dealer's junk box. On the right side, you can see that there's a Amoy registered cover, 19, I believe it's 1910 or something, with a large AR. I can't remember whether that's been recorded or not, but it's a very unusual AR, probably unique to Amoy. I've never seen it in other treaty ports. Anyway, so it's being sold. I don't think it has been sold, but it's in another auction. Right. Okay. So let's start. Okay, so yesterday, Hong Kong Post released its fifth definitive stamps after the handle after 1997. So this is the fifth set of definitive, and it's a very colorful set, as you can see, featuring a total of 16 stamps from 10 cents to $50. It's all showing old and new landmarks of Hong Kong, and some of them for the 10 cents, you can see this is an Ice House Street, this so-called Ice House where they used to have ice blocks, ice cubes for sale there, and then you've got the police, the Tai O police headquarters, and this is a village in the New Territories. Is now a cultural heritage. And then that is obviously the Bank of China. And this is called the Blue House in Wan Chai, which is another cultural heritage, a very old house being renovated. And then you can see one of the pillars. We actually got two pillars. One is the IFC, one is the other one, I can't remember what it's called, but two of them are just like two pillars guarding the harbor of Hong Kong. And then of course, this is the bridge bridging Hong Kong to Macau. You can see the sunset, and then the new museum, the M Plus Museum, the airport, the Hong Kong CEC, the Cultural Center, and of course the Big Buddha and the Hong Kong Cultural Center. I don't know why they actually put that little design there, which I find it a little bit perturbed, because okay, it's probably related. You can see a little butterfly there, but you see, and the coin, etc. But it's really, the design is so small that you can actually hardly see it on the mid. Okay, when it's blown up, it's fine, but when on a small size stamp, I mean, it's very hard to see. You need certainly need a magnifying glass to see. So I just, there's just my own criticism of the stamp, and of course other people actually say that it's a beautiful stamps, but it's very difficult actually to see some of the actual value, because for example for this stamp, I mean, so colorful that it's actually hiding the 50 cent. Obviously, this bar is just to put down there, and it's hard to see. But now the main point about this set of stamps is in the past, the definitive stamps, they use the so-called they just issue some values, and some of the values are not proper postage. For example, the $5. There's never been a $5 postage to send it to anywhere. But now they made some changes. For example, you've got $5.40. Okay, $5.40 actually it's the first step airmail postage to Zone 2. And then of course the 10 cents, 20 cents, it's made up values, obviously. And then the $15.50 is actually a registered mail, registration fee. So now you only need one stamp to pay for it. If you want to have a letter registered, you just put the stamp on instead of just using several values to do it. So it's very convenient. For example, other values going to some of the service rate to China, etc., and you just use one stamp instead of several stamps made up. Designed by Bon Guan, which is a very famous and designer of Hong Kong stamps, and printed by Carter. They say of France, but I think Carter has now merged with Warsaw in GB. They just call it Carter Corp or something. Carter, and it is printed in, I think it's modern like lithography, which is like made up of minuscule dots, and there are whole loads of philatelic products also released with it. So next, we will come to the lower values are of different size. The high values are slightly larger. And the low values in the 100 stamps, and the high values in 50 stamps, same as before. And the perforation is slightly different with the low values and high values. And the paper, of course, is the usual gum paper with the security fibers. And then this is actually the first day cover. There are actually two first day cover. This is a large size first day cover for all the stamps, the whole set of stamps, the low values as well as high values. And there's a smaller size first day cover for if you don't want to put the high values on, which I have actually shown here. The postmark, the standard postmark is the our official flower, the Bohemia flower. I use it as a cancel, but of course, this is the the special cancel for the definitive. But of course, at each post office, they also use their own branch office canceller as well. So you can, and then they also actually designed some pictorial cachet for each of the different stamp for you to put on an envelope. So here we are, and then in addition to the stamp sheet stamps, you've got the two souvenir sheets, a small sheet sheetlet with the high values, and the larger sheetlet with all the lower values. Okay, so there are two souvenir sheetlets. So presumably the small first day cover is for the smaller sheetlet, and the large first day cover you can actually this would stick comfortably on the large size first day cover. So the aerogram, got a new aerogram with the new design aerogram. Not sure how many people use the aerogram nowadays, but they still issue one. I'm sure that I actually haven't seen any aerograms being used for a long time. But still, I mean, you can buy them. Right, and then also a booklet, a $22 booklet made of 10 $2.20, which is the local postage, the first step local postage for 30 grams. And it's self-adhesive. Each stamp is self-adhesive, so it's a different, the design is the same, but it's self-adhesive. And you can actually buy this booklet from non-post office outlets like maybe 7-Eleven, or some other shops that sell them. Very convenient, for especially us, in which others we sell. Sometimes well, I send some say maybe a birthday card or something, and I don't have to go to the post office and buy loads of $2.20 stamps, and just go to the nearby convenience store and just buy a booklet and then just take a step out. So it's good, but they used to have a booklet for airmail denominations as well, like some $30 or for $30, but now they only have the $22 for maybe the very few people actually buy them, so they find it not well profit. I won't say profitable, but not much use of those high value booklets. So this is the only booklet that they produce now, being distributed to these convenience stores. So Alex, thanks. Okay, so and amongst all the souvenirs, like the presentation packs they produced, they have a set of 4 postcards, prepaid postcards. So you can see the 4 different postcards with the airport and the various sites, like we call it the rugby ball of the science park in Shatin, and then also they produce a set of, they call maximum cards with the stamp and postmark on the front. So there you go. So anyway, not as many people as it ought to be in like the old days, because a lot of people actually made use of the so-called LSOS service, which is a subscription service, so that you don't have to queue up. But there are quite a lot of collectors actually go to the post office, and particularly they want to put the branch office stamp on. For example, the one say the Blue House in Wan Chai, they will go to the Wan Chai post office and stamp it with the Wan Chai chop. And then this one, for example, the science park, they will probably go to Shatin and do it there. And the airport, they certainly would go to the airport post office. So there's still a bunch of very keen collectors that I would say diehard fans that would cancel the stamps from the various places. Anyhow, okay, well, that's all for the new the 5th definitive set. But the news is actually the post office are actually selling. Well, I mean, obviously the last one, the one with the rocks, they're still around. So they're actually selling both sets, both definitives simultaneously. So you can I don't know how they're going to manage the account, but you go to I went to the post office today and I saw them. Oh, which one you want? I just want to buy a $2.20. You want the old one or the new one? So you can actually buy both. But I believe that when the stock of the old the rocks definitive finished, then they would just sell the new definitive. So in the meantime, I think you can buy both. It's your choice. Okay, so go to the next item. This cover actually, some of them, some of you who actually visited the Hong Kong Philatelic Facebook would have seen it being posted there. It's interesting. It's interesting cover, which there's some bit of discussion because of the two 10-cent stamp and the posting date of the cover. Actually, the SS Oxys is a French mailboat. Sure, Philippe would be able to tell you that it's one of these large French steamship, and that it has actually a octagonal ship cancel number 10, issued number 10 on the back. Now the interesting thing is I dug up this piece of newspaper, and it actually the 13th, being stamped to the 13th of September, is actually the departure date. If you say the French contract packet Oxus will be dispatched on Thursday, 13th of September. Okay, so this is actually the mailing date, the ship when the ship departed Hong Kong, and I believe this is actually from a bank. I can't see the back. I can't see what it says on here, but I believe it's from a bank. Philippe, perhaps you can read it. Can you read it? Some
I
kind
can't read it, but I think comptoir. It's a bank. It's a comptoir discount.
That's right.
It's a bank.
Yeah, it's a bank. Well, certainly the French bank in Hong Kong, which yeah. So anyway, the interesting thing is if you look at this, the hours of the mail closing, it said blah 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 blah. It says the mail actually closed at 11. So after posting at 11 a.m., you have to pay the late fee. Okay. Now the interesting thing is this actually a mere double rate letter with 10 cents, or it is one of the 10 cents actually serves as a late fee, which it could be either way, because I mean the envelope actually doesn't look, because of the for a double rate it would be under 1 ounce, which is fairly heavy, and then it should leave some mark on the envelope. But this envelope just is a very thin, fairly standard envelope, and it doesn't really look that it's that heavy. So just wonder whether that's one of the stamp is a late fee. But of course, by regulation, the late fee has got to be stuck on that side, on the bottom left corner. But if you look at the envelope, I mean, there's no space for it, except maybe here. Then you can put it there, or maybe next to the postage, which has been seen before, particularly if you have a postcard. They often actually stick the late fee adjacent to the stamp that paid for the postage. But I don't know, because I mean in 1888, I think they don't have the so-called time code. So I mean A could mean, well, in the morning, or I don't know whether you can have a B or C. So if it's A, if it's just a morning shift, that certainly would be posted before 11 a.m. But yeah, if you have a B or C, if you have, and then that means it's for sure it is not a late fee, but yeah, it's anybody's guess. But it's just so happened that you've got the boat cancel on the same day. But whether that is usual or not usual, I'm not sure. Do you for French mailboat? Do you get every letter? Do you get it stamped with the cancel on the back? I'm not sure.
What is the word at the bottom right of the envelope?
France. Bottom right.
No.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
That is that's a department.
Or department or
Okay.
Bescon. Yeah.
Doubs.
DUB. Oh, it's a department. Right.
Department.
Thank you.
Not double. Right. But yeah, I thought usually for double, they usually put a 2 on some kind of manuscript 2 on the envelope. I don't know whether that is the always like that, or it's anyway. It's interesting. So, I mean, obviously, and for French mail, you can actually mail the envelope, mail your letter on board. It actually says here, after which hours they may be sent on board with the same late fee. Okay, but those letters would be cancelled by the French chancellor, because the Hong Kong mail would have been closed. So this is yeah, so difficult to prove, but it's it's one of these interesting items. Anyway, okay, right. So the next item, this is, well, it's claimed by the seller as printed on the gum side of the $50. I don't collect sort of modern definitives. I've never actually seen it before. Do you know, actually, has anybody actually seen a $50 being printed on the gum side, or this is just basically a rubbed a $50 with a cancel? Maybe somebody done something to it, and it's just it's a poor copy of the $50. So God knows, but yes, it was described as such.
It certainly suffered in its life, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, that's right. So I mean, it doesn't really. I think it printed on the gum side. You know, I think it's pretty rare nowadays in the modern days. I mean, you know, this is the 1996. It's fairly very modern definitive stamp. So it just looks to me that it's a very scuffed a copy of the $50, and maybe with a postmark. Somebody rubbed the postmark off here and then described as such by a dealer who's not too familiar with Hong Kong. In fact, there are very few. I think I don't even know that there are actually Hong Kong stamps being printed on the gum side at all. I mean, you know, if you know of one, let me know.
I did have the early festival sheet, a low value. That was one sheet printed on the gum side.
Oh, right.
But it can happen.
Yeah.
Not on this one.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So no, this is probably. I think nobody want to put a lot of money on it. I think it only fetched for something like a few dollars. Anyway. Okay. So the next item I want to show you is this one, the Jubilee. Good, bad, and ugly. See, this one, actually, no, it's before that. Okay. The first one, actually, Ingo and I actually discussed it before the meeting, about this one that fetched £725, and it is said to be unmounted mint, but the back was not shown. So whether you know, there's always a bit of a doubt whether actually it's really unmounted mint or is it regummed. But okay, because the seller is a well-known stamp dealer, so maybe, you know, the buyer will trust him. But it's a broken one of variety, as you can see. A little bit faulty. I think it's a little bit stained, but it's really maybe people are really going for the extreme, and mounted mint jubilees are not that common. It could have happened in a big block, but you're not going to tear one out just for the unmounted mint. So anyway, maybe that's why this is almost a record price for a single stamp. Have you seen anything selling at that price, Neil?
Oh, I'm happy selling that price, yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's a very nice one, though, is it? It's
That's right. Well, I mean, not the, it's got a bit of, this shortish perf there, and but maybe if somebody's trying to do unmounted mint collections of all the Hong Kong stamps, this would be quite hard to find, or he may have to buy a block of 4 or something, or just to tear one off the bottom pair to get an unmounted mint. Anyhow, the middle one is obviously a fake. It looks like a double overprint, but I'm afraid I don't think any of you would agree that this is genuine. And then the other one is even worse. I mean, but I'm quite surprised that it actually still fetched $50 US for that kind of the fake. And then this is of course terrible. It's reflected by the price. So there's still a lot of these around, and despite you inform the seller that no, this is fake, and they say, well, we shall see, and then sometimes it got sold. Well, anyway, so I think that's okay. Of course, this is the well-known complete block. They call it Werner's replica. I don't know whether I have never heard of this Werner's replica. I don't know about Neil or any of you guys. But it's actually this is just one of the stuff that this so-called Werner forgery, well, not even forgeries. I mean, it's just replicas of some famous stamps. I mean, it's mentioned here around 2000, year 2000, and the people are comparing him with Sperati. So I think it's far. I think the printing technique, etc., is far different from what old Sperati did in those days. And I think if you want to buy a block like this, maybe only about $10-15, just for the fun of it, and then this is a blow up, and you can see this all from the same position with the broken end. Every single stamp, they just use one overprint, and I bet you any money that even the stamp is actually not printed by line by recess, a line engraved. So is this one. This is not actually a Werner forgery. This is actually, I think it's actually from possibly maybe from Taiwan. I mean, obviously this is printed by modern lithography method. Looks better. I mean, but still, I mean, you have it blown up, or maybe try. Obviously, postmark's fake. So these are the things that they'll sell, but people only pay a few dollars, maybe just for the fun of it, or as a reference of a fake stamp. I think
on those replica and forgery and so on. I have some problem with that.
Yeah.
When someone says that is a replica, and there is nothing wrong in doing replica, but it should be stamped on a back replica. It should be marked replica. If you don't mark replica, then it is forged, because it can deceive. If it is marked replica, it cannot deceive, and you can sell that in museum or wherever. But so if there is nothing on the back of this stamp, it's a forged stamp.
Yeah, you're completely right. Because I mean this one, I don't know about this whether they've got the word replica on the back, but for this one, actually in about 5 or 6 years ago, a lot of them actually appeared in the market, and each of them actually got the word either reproduction or replica on the back, actually stamped on the back. And but now I think they are actually selling it without the print without the hand stamp on the back to overseas dealers or something. And there were a lot of them actually came from some overseas dealers. So obviously they think, and this one is obviously, they stuck it on a piece of postcard with a fake, obviously fake c.d.s. So yeah, it's being abused. At first, I mean, okay, the intention was, oh yeah, it is a replica, and space filler, souvenir, whatever, souvenir. Probably. I mean, and you can actually even sell it on the internet. I mean, because it is actually mentioned as a replica. But nowadays, some of them are selling them just like the in the way of a genuine stamp without any marking on the back, and typically it has some gum as well, which is very shiny kind of white gum, which is obviously is wrong, completely wrong. Anyway, so yeah, if you're interested to, these blogs are always around on a certain internet. Maybe you can spend a few dollars and and then just for the fun of it. Anyway, okay, I think that's all for me.
Yeah, the problem with these replicas, like echoing Philippe's statement,
yeah,
when it's first sold as a replica or a reproduction, or they mention it on things like eBay and Delcamp where they sell them. It's the secondary market when there's an estate or a guy reselling that they don't mention that it's replicas, and that's where innocent buyers end up buying fakes.
Yeah, and then
what the bigger problem is, printing technology is so advanced now and so readily available to individuals. You don't need a large corporation with a lot of infrastructure to print stamps.
No.
And there's tons of replicas and fakes coming out. But even worse is the damage they're doing to the post offices, both in the United States and Canada and other countries, where there's reproductions of new stamps, current stamps being used, coming out that are so good, it's very, very difficult to tell them.
Well, they're defrauding the post office.
And it's defrauding the post office. In the United States, they estimate that they lost $600 million in the last few years of fake postage being spread all over the country.
Goodness. Wow. Yeah. We can actually see that's an immediate thing. You can see this is not even cone perforation. It's a line perf. You can see the perforations are wrong. So anyhow,
like on Instagram, I constantly get, because they know I'm a stamp collector, I constantly get advertisements for Canadian postage at a large discount. So 20, 30, 40% discount from postage stamps. And that's not normally available at all.
No.
Like the post office gives a 5% commission to resellers, like official resellers, but more than 5% is just not available in the market. So when somebody's selling you current stamps at a 20% discount, you know it's fake. But we, because we're attuned to the market, but the general public has no idea. They say, oh, okay, I got a cheaper way to send any letters, and they just buy it, and it just hurts the post office revenue.
That's true. It's a serious problem that the posts are facing with. Yes. Anyway, what can we do? I mean, it's that well, okay, we won't. But there are so many people who have absolutely no knowledge of even what the real stamps looks like. So they, as you say, that 40% discount is a very attractive price if you are a bulk mailer. you know, and you bought the stamps, they look good, you know, and they just use them on their post.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it happens to many countries.
Yeah, Britain is also very much affected by that.
Yeah. Well, so far in Hong Kong, we haven't had that many forged stamps, but you never know. You never know. I mean, anyhow, right? Okay, so that's my bit. So I think Richard had something prepared for us. So maybe Richard could. Yeah, let me just stop sharing. Right. Okay. Right, let me just. How do I stop sharing? I forgot how to share. Right, let me just change. Right.
Don't worry, Andrew. I'll make you look like an expert.
No, I can see now. Okay, sorry about that. My glasses not so good. Okay, Richard, it's all yours.
Yeah,
yes.
Sure. Let's see what we got here. Okay, can we see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think a while ago that Ingo touched on this subject. But I thought in an idle moment, I put together what I got on this. And specifically looking at ordinary airmail by Leyte, of course, that's immediately after the liberation of Hong Kong in 1945. Leyte itself is a large island at the southeast of the Philippines islands, and it was the base for the Pacific Fleet, American Pacific Fleet, and other allied navies. A massive airbase as well. So let's see what. Ooh, this is too big. Okay, let me just. You're all getting in my way. Okay. The RAF operating out of Australia, known as the 300 Group, were actually operating between Leyte and Sydney earlier in 1945. But they extended the route to Hong Kong, and surveys were carried out, and there was a number of trial flights early September 1945. And then once permission had been given by the authorities that RAF aircraft could carry civilian mails made up by the Hong Kong Post Office, they started this route. I mean, airmail started on the 20th of October 1945. Prior to that, there had been a few mails sent out through the Fleet Mail Office to the Philippines and the USA, but there's no philatelic evidence for that. And virtually all of the mail that was sent by this route, which was a land aircraft route, if you want to use that term, using Dakotas, was to the USA. Okay. This is a summary of the mail carried via Leyte. As you can see at the top, as I mentioned, some went via the Fleet Mail Office. And before the RAF started the service. And then the RAF carried mail down to Leyte for onward transmission to the USA and so on in October, November, and December 1945. There are no known ordinary airmail covers via Leyte in 1946. All of them were sent via London. The first post office notices, the one on the left, was the first notice to come out, and stating where airmail could be sent to, and Leyte appeared on this with mail for North, Central, and South America. And on the right-hand side, you can see that by air to Leyte or through Leyte was mail for the Philippines, and again, North, Central, and South America. Interestingly, there's no mention of Canada specifically on these items, and therefore you would surmise that Canada was North America. But in fact, I don't think, or to the best of my knowledge, there's no airmail to Canada via Leyte. It was all sent via London. The various markings associated with the Leyte route, and I'll run through those now. The first is the between type 1, proud type AM6, and this was the by air to wherever you wanted, which were sort of exchange centres, by air to big beep only. And in Leyte's case, Leyte was written in manuscript appropriately, as shown on these two examples. As far as I know, there are only, or I have personally only recorded 8 examples of this marking over many years, many more than I care to think about. The earliest recorded date was the 20th of October, and that is the one at the top right. Interestingly, for some people, from Swindon Books, many people will know. And it went to New York, and it was rated $1. Airmail at that time was $1 to wherever was available. And the latest date was the 22nd of October. That's the bottom left. And interestingly, this one went to Costa Rica. It's the only one known.
Yeah. And
it arrived there on the 5th of November, as shown on the back stamp. Again, rated $1. The 20th was a Saturday, and the 21st was a Sunday. And there is one cover existing that was posted on the Sunday of the 8th known. And the latest date was the Monday.
So there's only one flight then, in that case, with this marking. Does that mean?
Probably.
Which is 20, 21st, 22nd, probably went on the same flight.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, I think the first flight out went on the 20th or 21st of October. So I think the one on the 22nd did not. That would have gone on the second flight.
The second flight, yeah. Okay.
So the next marking, the first one was presumably just a stopgap to use until this one arrived. This is the more well-known by air to Leyte only hand stamp, Queen 3 and so on. And there's about I know 38 examples of this. And the earliest date, interestingly, is the same date as the last one for the previous marking. So that was simultaneously used on that day, the Monday, the 22nd of October. And an example of that is shown top right, sent to Chicago. Again, rated $1 as usual. And the latest date is the 3rd of December. There it is, bottom left, to California. Interestingly, there is another example to a non-USA state. And this one was the 21st of November to Grenada in the West Indies. And this one arrived on the 4th of February, presumably through Miami. There are examples flown by this air route to the USA with the octagonal postage paid hand stamp. Two of these are shown here. The one on the left was sent by, in the military, he was Captain Valentine. In civilian life, he was a director of Dodwells. And the one on the right was from a gentleman who was interned at Stanley Camp. So the point here is that the free postage, which only lasted for a very short time for civilians, was, as we know, was extended for military staff and also staff who worked in the military authority administration. So these two covers, just by reference to the air to Leyte only mark, would have been sent at some point between the 22nd of October and the 3rd of December. So there was still mail going out, postage paid, during at least a part of that period. The final marking used for mail going via Leyte was the McQueen Type 4 by air to Leyte PI only. And there's 28 of these known to myself. And the earliest date for those is the 5th of December, and the latest is the 31st of December. And the earliest and latest are shown here. The earliest one went to Rhode Island on the right-hand side. Again, we're still talking $1, the half-ounce rate. And the one on the left, the last one, went to Boston. However, that's not quite the end of the story. Then we have some examples, actually 3, that were originally stamped with the by air to Leyte PI only, and superseded by air to London only markings. This was due to cancellation of the RAF service via Leyte. It was rerouted through Saigon and down to Brisbane and Sydney. And of these, we know of 3, with the earliest being the 3rd of January and the latest the 5th. And all 3 are shown here. After the curtailment of the RAF service, then all airmail, ordinary airmail, I should say, to the USA was sent via London. And that continued until the inauguration of the Philippine Airlines Trans-Pacific service on the 23rd of May, 1947. Interestingly, on the way the return mails from USA to Hong Kong, none were sent via Leyte, which is understandable, really, and they all came via London. Beyond the 23rd of May, 1947, I can't remember offhand when they restarted sending Trans-Pacific mail, but it was later than the mail that went via Philippine Airlines from Hong Kong through to San Francisco via Manila. Okay, I haven't finished investigating the actual RAF routes, but this is what I've gleaned so far. Originally, from 18th of September, flights went via Leyte and then Papua New Guinea into Australia through Brisbane to Sydney. And although they started in September 1945, of course, it wasn't until the 20th of October that mail was allowed to be sent, civilian mail allowed to be sent via, excuse me, by the RAF. And then at some point, it was changed to flying into Tacloban, which is the main city now, on Leyte Island, and then through to Sydney. And that carried on, it seems, until the 2nd of January, which fits in with the dates on the letters, envelopes that I just showed you. And then the route changed from Hong Kong, going through Saigon and Labuan in Borneo, Indonesia, through Darwin, and through to Sydney. Yeah, and there is an interesting aspect of this, which I was looking at with KK Ho, and that is that the Hong Kong Post Office was still putting mail via Leyte on their mail list in the newspapers for a short period after the 2nd of January, but it seems that that route had just stopped. But this is slightly weird. Now, another interesting aspect of this is that after the route had changed there's a gap, well, a gap in my knowledge anyway. And here I've tried to illustrate that. So going from the top left, that was the last date for a cover going via Leyte to the USA. And then the 5th of January, 3rd to the 5th of January, I should say, sorry, on the right-hand side is the mail that was originally by air to Leyte PI, and then subsequently stamped by air to London, and then sent by surface, as shown by the red bars. And then on the bottom left is the earliest date that I know of that was sent by London. And this was at a $1.30 rate. I do not, apart from the ones that were originally going via Leyte, I don't know of any $1 covers going via London. And you can see there's almost a 2-week gap where there's no known covers. Or there may be some floating out there somewhere. Maybe it would be great if somebody could grab a few from their collection and let me know. The $1.30 rate is another strange beast, because what it came, I don't have the date with me right now, but it came into date as a $1.30 per half ounce rate later in 1946. But these letters, like this one, the rate, which is demonstrable by covers that were 1 ounce, which shows how the rate was constructed. This rate was constructed by the $1 airmail per half ounce and the 30 cents surface rate per ounce. So a half ounce letter, which this one was, would go for $1.30. But if it was a 1 ounce letter, it would go for $2.30, and so on and so on and so on. So you can look out for some of those. That'd be cool. Okay, I think that's it.
Great.
Fire away if you have anything.
Yeah.
Oh, just one point which I forgot. I don't cover anything to do with registered mail in this presentation. Registered mail is a very strange subject for going to the USA. It's very difficult to see how anything was organized in this period. Some went via London, some went maybe via Leyte, but probably via the military postal establishment in Hong Kong. It's really rather difficult to get your mind around, but I might have a go at that and do it at some future point.
Yes, thank you.
Wow, Richard, that's a treat. There's a lot of eye candy covers in there. And of course, your research is impeccable as usual. I'd like to take first right of refusal on that Costa Rica cover, if you're ever disposing of it. But
I don't own all of those. There's my usual group of colleagues or enthusiasts have helped me out with some, for sure.
Yeah. I have one cover with the octagonal chop and a Juska marking. It's covered to Canada. Impossible to tell the date because obviously that marking didn't have a dater, and it's by air to London only.
Yeah. As I mentioned, Ingo, I think that's my conclusion. I've seen quite a few, and got a few myself, covers to Canada, and they all went via London.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think there's any covers to Canada via Leyte.
No.
Right.
Okay.
With any comments from anybody?
Okay, I'll stop sharing then.
Okay, thank you very much. Fascinating. We look forward to more input from Richard next time.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it's very fascinating to see the different types, particularly the first type, which is very, very unusual. The other two types, you probably occasionally you do find them, but the first one with the dot, you just a handwritten one is highly unusual. I believe that somebody's got Ellis, first time, I think, live.
No, it's the second time.
Oh, it's the second time. Oh, right. You're in Toronto, right? Welcome.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Good. Sorry. I must have missed you in the last meetings and things like that. I believe who's next? I think Charles has something to share, right? Charles.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
You want to share your screen?
Yep.
Okay. Are you seeing that?
Yeah.
Firstly, it is a D27 cover. Not very rare in any case. But the point is that, okay, I would like you to show it is the Amoy c.d.s. The date is insured by hand, 11. It is the first time that I have seen such kind of situation on the cover. Before, I've seen on a single stamps. This is the back cover with the arrival. And I've worked out the root and rate and also the marking. The figure 11 will be under inking. And then it is insured by hand. It is
Can you show the back again, Charles?
I beg your pardon?
Can you show the back again, please?
Yeah. Cool. It is a UK arrival marking.
Yeah.
It's okay?
Yeah.
This cover is expired in 85. And this is the stamp that I've showed before. It is a Ningpo straight c.d.s with the day figure 21 author to 22nd. 21st author to 22nd. By striking a day's elect onto it. And then you can see the last digit 2 is a little bit askew to right, not aligned. Therefore, I think, well, sometimes the postal staff may make a mistake by inserting the wrong day or else to the c.d.s. And upon finding the error, then they correct it either by hand, like this D21, D22, D27 cover by hand, or to shrug it, by hand shrug the second.
Which do you think is the mistake, the 1 or the 2?
I beg your pardon?
Which is the mistake? Which is the added one? Is it 2 added one or the 1 added one?
2 is added.
Yeah, which one is added?
On top. 2 is on top of 1.
2 is on top of 1. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That means it changed from 21st
to
22nd.
Maybe he forgot
to change it in the morning.
Yeah.
So let me understand, does that mean when they change the number, they've done a chop with the wrong number, then they change the number, and then they have to strike it again to try to get it exactly on?
I don't think so. I think the point is that they use the day slab, just put it on and struck on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, right. So they just had the number, the numeral.
More easy. Yeah.
The cover.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
If you are change the day and then struck again, you will have a double impression of the c.d.s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Can you get my point?
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
Now, therefore, it is supported by a cover in that way. Okay, there will be mistake. They are either doing by hand, insert the date, or you do it in that way.
You think they could have left out the 11 by mistake? The January 11 and just found out, oh, there's no date, and then they put 11 on.
You mean the D27 cover?
Yeah. Yeah, there could have been no. Actually, you can see a faint mark. Yeah.
Can you see? Very faint.
You can see a faint mark. Yes.
Yeah.
So it was so faint that you cannot see.
Cannot see the date. Therefore, they add on.
I can see now.
Maybe the collector put it on.
I don't think so, because it can match the day of the ship.
Yeah.
And I don't think it is add subsequently.
Yeah.
You can see the aging of the inking.
Yeah. Okay.
Overall speaking, you can see the aging of the inking of the date 11, right? Not a modern adding.
No. So I think the original 11 was so faint that they had to strengthen it by putting it in ink, pen and ink. Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I got this covers because of I buy this cover because of this c.d.s.
Oh, not the T27.
because I have a single stamp in that way. Okay. The guy saying that, well, Charles, okay, single stamp, okay, can you buy me a cover?
If anyone would have bought it for the T27 rather than the c.d.s.
Yeah.
Oh dear. All right. Okay.
And also, I think the dyer at that moment of time is not aware of these kind of things, I think.
No, they don't really mind.
Yeah.
I think they people focus on the D27 rather than the c.d.s.
Everyone's focused on this one. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
yeah. That would be the key point rather than the c.d.s. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I'm a strange guy there for looking at those strange things. Okay.
By the way, can you go back to the cover?
Yeah.
The D27 cover. There's a red manuscript. Is a red manuscript on the top left. Is it 3 or 2 or what? Or is it B or whatever? Yeah, the red by next. Yeah, what's that? Looks like B.
It looks to be a B.
B.
I don't know what it means.
Okay.
Usually it's a seller who put B, A, B, C for the price. B corresponding to so much and A is more expensive. And
Oh yes. Oh
so
yes.
it has nothing to do with the post, I guess.
I see. I know one dealer. They have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yes. They use a code. They use a code for the prices, and then the code actually change when a dealer goes to a different country. A corresponding to pounds or euros or US dollars or Canadian dollars. Yes. Right. Nice. Very good.
Okay, let me go ahead.
Right.
Okay, the second thing that I'm talking about will be the F1 blue inking. I have found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of a blue inking. It is a deep blue inking on accents. It is a deep blue. It is a wallet blue. Recorded use from 75 to 76. By reference to Derek's studying of F1 in Hong Kong Philatelic Society Journal. Okay. Further, I found that it is in green blue inking. And the last one will be wash blue inking. As I can say in that way, it is a little bit wash. Well, it is a famous cover. It is 28 cents on 30 cents. Cancel the F1, the only known cover to London. Clearly, F1 was struck in green blue inking. Particularly show on the cover itself, you can see. And the back c.d.s of Fuzhou also in similar green blue inking effect. On c.d.s.
Wrong mixture.
I beg your pardon?
Wrong mixture of ink.
Yeah, maybe. And at least it is used in 1877.
Similar incident in Shanghai.
This one will be in the wallet blue, and the later on become the green blue and become a wash blue, something like that. Maybe
I just wonder where they get the ink from. You think that the Britain supplied the ink, or they just got it
I think they may use a mixture with the local inking, maybe. We don't know. Usually the inking was supplied from GPO London.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But if they are short of inking or else, they may use local inking or else.
right?
Now I can confirm that this green blue inking at least using in 77 by this cover.
Right.
Any question?
Now you're going to tell us why all the F1s are sideways, struck sideways instead of upright.
Well, I can say the Fuzhou postal staff are very lazy guy. they just put the covers, okay, all together, and then just expose out the top right corner, expose the stem, and then using the chop okay, to cancel. Therefore, most I can say 98% of the F1 you find that
sideways
will be sideways, inverted, or else upright stripe of F1 is very, very scarce or even rare.
Yeah, you're right. Except there's I can remember there's one which could well be there's a printed matter like a market report band with a black F1 which is upright. I think that is doubtful.
Hi, Charles.
Yeah.
Would it be possible that the greenish blue color is due to the fading of some of the color over the years, the aging, so that the blue color become fading away, become a bit greenish?
I don't think so, because we have seen so many blue F1 cover. F1 cover is not so rare or scarce in the market. I cannot recall the total number of F1 cover record by the friend Derek.
I think it's 30, at least 30 plus.
At least 40 or 50 covers.
Yeah.
Maybe half of it in blue inking. And those blue inking on those covers are mostly not fade. Not fade.
Yeah.
Therefore, I tend to believe that, as Andrew saying, that it will be the wrong mixture of the inking by adding some agent on that,
whatever
or
solvent they use
on that. Yeah. We don't know.
Yeah.
Years ago, I think Pearson, and I also was involved a little bit, did an analysis of different color inks on Hanko covers. And his conclusion was it was oxidation.
Okay.
But I haven't seen any other study done on it apart from your one, Charles. So.
I have this 28 on 30 cents stamp with a greenish blue postmark, and it's the only value that has that color. So I have a feeling around this time it was the ink.
And the wrong mixture. Yeah. Okay, good.
I think with the Hankow ones, my memory is pretty useless these days, but if I remember correctly, there was blue one and a green one within the same week, and then a blue one again. So I mean, logically it should be the ink, but there is other possibilities.
It just
on the
depends
same
what
week they're using
solvent they add
two
to
inking looks to be they are using two different ink pad.
Or maybe they just add too much solvent.
Maybe.
I don't know what they use.
Maybe, for sure.
Yeah.
Another point that I'm against the saying of aging will be okay. If aging is just on this side, how about on the another side, back or cover also similar color.
I mean,
oxidation would happen to both.
rather than sunlight effect.
Well, sunlight, are you going to explode the cover?
Yeah, sunlight is
going
to be different from both sides. So it's either the maybe a chemical change of the ink.
Yeah.
So it would affect both sides. It's hard to prove, but interesting thing that you brought up is that okay, we know that probably studies have been done on the pigments they use for the ink, but has anybody actually done any studies on the solvent, what they use for the ink pads? You know, whether what they use what, kerosene, benzene, or whatever they use. Have anybody seen any studies on the solvent? Or well, obviously it's going to be organic, some kind of organic substance, and probably not so. So it doesn't evaporate very quickly. Otherwise, your ink pad would be dry within hours. So it's got to be maybe some oily stuff that they use. Has any studies been done?
I have never come across any.
Yeah.
Okay, shall I go ahead?
Okay, go ahead.
Another cover I would like to share will be a local, what I call the Hong Kong local covers, which cover also the Canton and Macau. This one is using a registered stationery envelope, 10 cents, adding a 2 cents green. I think it is the only record using a registered stationery envelope in that way. And the 10 cents registration fee would be correct, as I understand.
This is interesting because the sender is from the German torpedo. I think they were torpedo boat, the Jaguar. Yes, this is SMS Jaguar.
Mm.
You may accuse it, it may be Philatelic, I don't know.
Would that R in circle be a Canton marking or a Hong Kong marking?
Canton marking.
Canton. Okay. Wow.
We sent from Canton. Yeah.
Yeah. Sent from Canton.
Same kind of black. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. And this is the government gazette for the postal raise of a postage to be effected at 25th December, 1898. It is the Christmas Day. Saying clearly, between Hong Kong and Canton, Macau, Canton, and for local delivery, registration fee is 10 cents. Can you see?
Any markings on the back?
Hong Kong arrival. Hong Kong arrival backstab. Okay, the next one that I would like to go to show will be an interesting cover. That is a register mail. Also using the register stationery envelope of King Edward VII. The interesting thing will be the label, the INSURED label. It is in a square shell. Cutting off this side, cutting off this side. Can you see clearly?
Yeah.
It is issued of 300 francs. Issued mail is really scarce from c.d.s. And this is a square label of an INSURED label. I've seen only one more in a bad condition of a high hull. Think that not a very good picture anyhow. And this label also different to the Shanghai one.
It looks like the separation was done by hand.
I don't know. Maybe it is gum remain or else.
Yeah.
Because the quality is not very good, therefore I'm hard to conclude anything. But I'm asking that is it the in trading port they use a squared shape of the INSURED label? Because for the Hong Kong, they use a INSURED label with a sharp corner at both sides. It is a 01. And also I have seen another Shanghai one, they use a sharp corner. Square one, I've just seen two.
So you think there's a regulation for the different cuts?
I don't know whether it is a cut or else.
It's the same label. Well, this is the label.
Maybe it is the same label.
Yeah, it is the same label. Yeah. Printed on
Why
orange
they
paper.
cut it in the trading port use? This one is using in 05. This one is using in let's see.
11. Yeah, I think it looks like 11. Yeah.
And this one using in 01. Still using the Hong Kong one. Sharp corner, but different because you don't have the dot. Okay. Over here.
Which one? The next one.
You can see the dot over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Shanghai one don't have
in
01.
Were those labels glued, or did they have to use a separate kind of a paste to glue them onto the cover?
I have no idea.
I think that
taking this one, it looks to be using the glue. Heavy glue, very heavy.
Yeah.
Since this is not your cover, right? Because
this
otherwise,
one not my cover.
No. Is that because it's China overprint? I just wonder whether that one is in Gibson Smith's collection, so you could have a clearer picture.
Maybe
go to his website.
I don't know.
Yeah, go to his website and see whether he has got a clearer picture of this one.
This one I found it in the John Bull's auction, the 19 sale.
Okay? But no, he could have bought it many years ago, and because I don't know, I got a feeling that I've seen this before, that kind of bigger label before. So I just wonder whether he has this in his collection. Maybe he collects China overprint.
Yeah.
Put it this way, if he doesn't have it in his collection, he wants it in his collection.
Yeah. Okay.
And also this cover, I acquired it because of not this one, not the oval marking. I acquired this for this INSURED label. I found it is very interesting, no sharp corner. Then I found another one will be high held one. Will be the two. I've noticed that. Okay, any question?
Right. Thank you. No.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay, this is a mystery to me. Maybe Andrew can explain to me. It is a very rare tangent negative T marking. Negative T marking in red. Because it is to USA, for sure, this cannot well be Siberia.
Yeah.
Okay? And penny rate, the imperial penny rate of 4 cents is not applicable.
No.
Therefore, it is underpaid by 6 cents because the UPU rate to USA was 10 cents. Okay? What is the meaning of a 30-cent sentence over here?
Richard, you want to answer that?
Technically, I can say should be written in 25 centimes, equal to 10 cents.
It changes. It looks like that the 4 cent is totally disallowed, and it is sent as unpaid letter. So you know, the 30 centimes or 25 cent, they changed at a different time. I can't remember exact date that they change, you know, from 25, 30, which indicated that it's a service rate letter for first step. And I think it looks to me that 30 centime is just an unpaid letter. So I think that whatever the 4 cent put on, they totally ignore it and sent it as unpaid. That's my thought.
Even if it's unpaid, it would be written as the total postage will be 10 cents, will be equal to 25 centimes.
No, they ignore
the 4
cent. They ignore because it's less than maybe I don't know. Maybe it's less than half of the postage paid. They just ignore the whatever being paid. That's what I think. Well, and of course they could have made a mistake. Of course, it's more often than enough that the clerks couldn't actually work out how much postage due there is, and that's my feeling.
I have another creative thinking about that. Okay. 10 cents a postage, then you just pay 4 cents. It is underpaid by 6 cents. With the penalty double, that means it is 12 cents deal to be paid by the recipient. Then times that, because 1 cent Hong Kong equal to 2.5 centimes. If 12 cents times 2.5 will be 30 cents, 30 centimes. Another creative thinking for the calculation. I don't know.
But there's no postage due.
Yeah.
They didn't charge anything.
The point is that at the back of the cover, only the Shanghai transit c.d.s.
They didn't charge anything.
No US San Francisco transit c.d.s or arrival.
Yeah.
And no postal deal stamps. Also.
Too lazy to work out. Just deliver it.
Maybe
why was that crossed out? Turn over. Why was that crossed out? There was something, by Siberia crossed out.
You cannot send to US. Why?
Yeah, you can.
Why not? Right?
You can. You can send via Siberia to the
no
UK.
Way. No way Siberian go to London,
New Jersey.
To transatlantic. No way. It will be down to Shanghai and then by Canadian
unless it's
ship
closed.
or US.
Is it closed on
1911?
It's not closed.
It's
not closed. Trans-Siberia is not closed until 1911.
Open. It is open.
So why was it crossed out? They could, of course they could, because New Jersey is on the East Coast. They could have gone to Europe and then get the boat across. Maybe because it's quicker to send it to Shanghai, then that's why they crossed out by Siberia. There's another mystery. I just don't understand why they cross it out.
They consider the sender is incorrect by paying the imperial penny rate via Siberia then to London. For what? Then they just send down to the Shanghai and Trans-Pacific better. And also the fast way.
It's difficult to prove how you were sent with no arrival.
Yeah.
But you're completely correct that you could actually send to Shanghai and then via Trans-Pacific to San Francisco and then by the railway across. That's another possibility, but it's hard to prove. Right. Anyway.
This cover I also asked Chris Norton. He recorded he has also encountered those covers with 30 centimes also. But he cannot recall where it is.
I would have thought it was treated. I would have thought it's treated unpaid, totally unpaid.
Okay.
Just ignore the 4 cents because it was even less than half. At
that moment of time, 10 cents Hong Kong equal to how many centimes? It is the exchange rate problem. I don't have the information, sorry.
There's a study group called the Postage Due Mail Study Group.
Mm-hmm.
They would be able to help interpret this cover.
Yeah.
There's one colleague here in Canada, a fellow named Ken Snelson, who collects British postage due and all kinds of worldwide postage due. He doesn't specialize in Hong Kong, but he has all those regulations. It's all UPU stuff that's really hard to find, and there's no single book or authority to find it. You got to find it by period whenever the rates change. It's a difficult subject, but I joined those postage due mail study group guys, and they have a Zoom meeting once every quarter, and it's a good way to get up your knowledge and maybe present a cover like this to get help with interpretation. Like if you want me to submit it to my colleague Ken, just send me a scan, Charles.
Yeah.
And I'll get some expert information on it.
Okay, thank you, Ingo.
Is that negative T listed in Proud or
Yes.
Web?
Yes, it's in Proud.
Okay.
It is thought that is actually sent from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Because Hong Kong had the same T, but it was used in black.
Okay.
So it's very rare. I mean, it's not common at all.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's one of the unusual negative T or intaglio T. Well, I would personally go for the T myself as a marking. Anyway, Thank you very much for sharing. Yeah.
Okay. One more. Can go ahead. Okay.
Yeah. Go on.
Let me see. Okay, it is there. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, it is there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So there's food for thoughts that we could think about that. Maybe if other people actually watch the it's interesting that our Zoom meeting is often watched by hundreds of people. Actually, if you see the hit rates, there are quite a few people that watch it. Many of them are not even members, and some of them do actually write in, write emails and say, look, you mentioned this and this and this, and I've got the example on this and this, and this is because of why, etc. It's very helpful, to have people that actually watch the program and then give us some input. Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Anybody else got anything to share or to show? Ingo. Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah, I have a very short one to show, and it's not a stamp. It's a new book.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
There is a new catalog out, which has a fantastic section on Hong Kong. Now, this is a publication that includes a lot of British East Asia countries like Ceylon and Burma and Malaya area, Singapore, etc., etc. But the Hong Kong section is about 56 pages. It's a large hardcover book, so I haven't been able to scan the pages.
Yeah.
I bought it. It cost $79 US plus shipping. It's not a cheap thing, but it's got a fantastic update to the Schoenfeld, the information in Yang, and anything else that we have reference to Hong Kong postal stationery.
Yes.
Many members of our group several members of our group, Susan Crew, Sam Chu, myself, we all contributed updates.
Yeah.
It's meant to replace the old Higgins and Gage. And they're going through the world to do an update on all the postal stationery that was published by Higgins and Gage.
Yes.
and it's in full color.
Yeah.
It's very large, very big enlargements of varieties. Very, very well done book, worth the money. If you're a member of this UPSS, which is the United Postal Stationery Group, United Postal Stationery Society based in the US, if you're a member, the book is a little bit cheaper, I think $59 or something. But anyways, it's something worth getting if you're interested in Hong Kong postal stationery, because it's also priced. It's priced in US dollars. So you have a guideline. I'm going to write a more extensive review of it in the next Hong Kong Study Circle newsletter, and hopefully have some images to show of the pages. It also includes special administrative region. There's a big section on very modern stuff. And like I say, it's a good update to our knowledge of postal stationery. So I encourage anybody who's interested to get in touch with the UPSS.
I can see two Hong Kong items right in the middle.
Yeah, there's a China overprint registered envelope and the Hong Kong aerogram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you could contact Wayne, because Wayne is actually a member of the study circle.
That's right.
So he
That's right. Wayne is a member.
Yeah, he could actually offer us a discount.
Talking of book, this one obviously is remarkable, but excuse me, years ago I had uploaded on the Hong Kong study website a topical presentation exhibit I had done, and I have republished it in Amazon.com. I don't know if you can see it.
Helicopter, yeah.
Now you see it on the reverse. Okay, anyway, it's an album. It has all the exhibit, and well, it is not very clear there, but anyway, it's topical on the history of the helicopter. I spent all my professional career in helicopter business, and in 2007, it was the centenary of the first flight of a helicopter, which happened in 1907. So I found at that time, I scanned all the catalog to find all the stamps related to helicopter which had been issued at that time. And it's about 600 of them. I find them, I bought them, they were cheap, but it was hard to find. And I did this topical thing. So I have published it now in Amazon.com. It's more modest price. It's only $29, and I have very little royalty on it. But it's a very interesting document from an aeronautical history standpoint. So if you're interested, it is there.
Amazon.com, it's pretty good because I bought your book via Amazon.com, your French book, and actually they sent it very quickly to me. I think even post free. I believe.
It's very easy to publish.
Very nice.
Before you had to publish, if you were to publish, you had to order 100 of them or whatever. But now you can publish on Amazon. It takes some time to understand the intricacy of the editorialing when you do the editorial of the book, because they scan it and they tell you, oh no, page 25 is wrong, page 26 is you're outside the margin. So it's a back and forth situation, which is very annoying. But when you know the trick, it's very easy to publish, and you can order one. So if you want if you want to publish something for yourself, not for the other, you do it. You buy one, and you have it on your library. What I did for several monograph I did on stamp, like my revenue monograph and so on. I order them like that. It's reasonably cheap, and it's very easy to do. And if you don't sell any, who cares? So.
Yes. Right. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody got anything to show? Yes, Alice.
Yes. Since we talk about the change of dice in the postmark and the postage still spontaneously, I think of two items of my collection that I can share with you guys and ask the comments of you guys.
Please.
Okay, I'm going to share now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, the first one is quite modern one.
All right.
Can you see it?
Uh-huh. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, it is a first day cover of the Hong Kong Post. It's the official one. And for the definitive in 1993, and that was the time when I was still a enthusiastic youngsters. So I think of it is the first day cover. It is the new definitives. And at that time, I tried to think of all the ways to send the Wheel Post travel first day cover. I remember at that time the Hong Kong postage rate for local cover is $1. So I fixed 5.20 cents and to put into the post box instead of asking for c.d.s. What I want was to cancel the cover with machine postmark. But when I received this cover and found that the postman is kind enough to make a little alternation in the postmark. So I think when they receive this cover, it should be the 2nd of November. So they can't they did not cancel the cover with the machine postmark. And I do not know why they closed down the original day dice and mark one above just besides the star mark. So it makes it it's still the first day cover, right?
Yeah.
But what are your comments that why did they do such kind of thing? Any comment?
They're being kind to you.
yes. Yeah.
I think they changed the postmark to 2nd already, and they saw the date right at the bottom and say the new definitive on the 1st of November. So they painted the second 2 out and put a 1 on top.
So is it a handwritten one?
Looks like maybe it could be a handwritten. Just put a 1 there. Or maybe even a 1 with just a date slot.
Just like the cover Charles.
Yeah.
The other can you enlarge the photo? Larger?
It looks like no, actually you can't see anything.
Down a bit, down a bit. Down a bit. Down. It's okay. Down.
There is that.
Down. Position down.
But I cannot control it. I cannot control it.
No, okay. That's good enough, I think, Alice.
Yeah.
I've also got this a second thought is that they actually left the day out.
Oh.
Yeah. So you see, just like this rectangular thing is just a blank. So they left the day out. So that obviously collected some ink and then gave a black impression.
Yes.
And then they said, oh, no, there's no date. And then they put the 1 on top.
Yeah.
I think that's more likely.
I think the 1 is insured by hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So handwritten one, right?
Handwritten. Yeah.
Handwritten. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I could not find a machine postmark first day cover.
This is unique, man.
So in 1993, they were still using the techniques of 1877.
Congratulations. This is unique.
cover, Amoy cover. Good.
Yes, it's a modern one. So we can write a little articles on this, old one and a new one.
Yeah, they just left out they forgotten to maybe they just left the day digit out and then put the one there.
Yes.
Yeah.
The postman was such kind.
Yeah. Well, also that he couldn't have a postmark without a date, so they have to put a date on.
Okay.
Andrew, I'm talking about about the black stripe out.
Yeah.
If it is omitted the day, then the square over there will be no dimming of the ink, will become black. But they have inserted I don't know what's
another digit,
or a flat digit or else.
Yeah.
So that it get the dim the inking and then looks like in that square.
Yeah.
They
just block it up with
spot.
something.
Is it because I want to see larger photos so that I can see whether it is
maybe Ellis
erased by the flat plan or else.
Yeah, maybe Ellis, you can use a microscope to just look at it, see whether you can.
Okay. I'll do it later. I'll do it later.
And a number underneath it.
Yeah. Maybe there was one, but
you need a microscope. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe even turn the cover
plan,
out. You look at the back of the cover to see whether it's an impression of a number.
Sure, but unfortunately, this cover was left in Hong Kong.
Right.
Okay.
But I can do it maybe 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah, fascinating. Never seen anything like that.
Okay, so
I'm thinking it will be by doing by the flat pen.
Yeah. Or maybe just just a black blob.
Yeah, using this kind of a flat plan to write.
So this is the second items I want to share with you guys. It is a cover sent to Holland by the St. Louis Industrial School in 1937. And it was framed with 4-cent connotation. And we look at the day is November 26th. But actually, for the weight of printed matter, it was changed 1 or 2 weeks before that day. So the actual postage for printed matter to Europe was 5 cents. So it should be a 1 cent postage deal, right? And the problem is when they send this cover, I'm not sure what was the way they sent this cover. And if they send this cover, went to the post office to send the covers, they have to affix 1 more cents, right? But it was paid by Postage Paid postmark. And I don't know why they apply this postage postmark. This is number 1. And my assumption assumption 2 is that the covers was one of the bulk mail. So the school had a lot of cover to send, and they brought them to the post office. And the post office processed the letters a later day.
All of them had a 4 cent.
Okay, and they found that it was 1 cent postage deal. So they applied the Postage Paid postmark on it and send this cover out, and then they collect the postage amount from the school afterwards. Because why I have this assumption was that if it was real postage deal, there should be a penalty, right? It should not be 1 cent. It could be 2 cents, right?
They will have a T mark on it.
Yes. And the other thing is that this is 1 cent. You can look at this. It is 1 c.d.s. So according to Edward Plow book, this postage paid postmark with this setting, according to his book, there were only 2 cents or 5 cents and 10 cents.
Oh,
there
really?
was no 1 cent.
Really? Oh, okay.
So it could be an unrecord one, but I'm not sure whether has there been any collectors mentioned this before. But I refer to his book. He does not mention this 1 cent postage deal, but postage paid postmark.
Yeah.
So what are the comments from you guys?
I think that St. Louis. Well, there's a third
St. Louis,
street.
yeah.
Ah, 3rd Street. That's Sai Ying Pun.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, Sai Ying Pun. So well, that's posted obviously not in Sai Ying Pun, in Central, in Victoria, the GPO.
Hello, everyone. Simon Choi here, and yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. This cover, in fact, I've seen several, and from the same sender, the St. Louis Industrial School, and posted on the same date, 26th of November, 1937, and having the same affixed postage stamp of the coronation 4 cents, and then also applied it with the 1 cent postage paid base stamp in red. So I've seen several, and all posted to different addresses in Holland. So I suppose the sender had at least several copies of this print matter, sending to different addresses in Holland. But because of the change of postage rate and the rate was not sufficient on the date of posting, so he made up the correct rate by paying additional money to the postal clerk at the counter, and then the postal clerk applied it the postage paid 1 cent for all the insufficient affixed stamps on the cover. So it is quite interesting, and it is a rare combination of postage stamps in combination with a postage paid base stamp in red. Yeah, I think well, you can treat it as a postage deal, but that postage deal problem was fixed at the point when the postal clerk at the counter was clearing the mails from the sender. That's what I think.
Return.
In fact, I have a copy.
I think return for postage rather. But
no, I don't think so.
We return immediately.
Immediately, yeah, but because the guy had about maybe 50 of these things, and they
maybe 10.
Yeah, maybe 10, and then the guy said, "Oh, instead of sticking 10 1 cent stamp, all right, come on, give me $1 and I'll chop it for you."
If it was returned, they put more stamps on. It would
That's
be
right.
at the post office. They just wanted more money. Give us another, 100 letters, another $1, and we'll stamp them all.
That's right.
And also, I'm not sure I remember correctly, and I vaguely remember that somebody told me that because of the lack of 1 cent postage stamps at that time, so they just put on 1 cent postage pay stamp instead. I'm not sure because I'm not that knowledgeable in terms of the availability of postage stamps.
You mean they ran out of 1 cent stamp?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, fascinating. Fascinating. Well, thank you for sharing it. It's very interesting. Yes, if one would have thought that in such case, I mean, they would have returned for postage, but obviously, maybe the messenger would have a whole pile of these things, and they just guys say, look, give us some more money, and we stamp it for you, and it's a bit like in recent years you have the postage paid red hand stamp for airmail letters. Remember that?
Yeah,
I'm sure Ellis, you know about that. They sent they forwarded your letter with a red postage paid hand stamp, and then sent a card back to you for you to stick some stamps and send it back to the mail center. Remember those things? That was in the 90s and 1990s. They had this system that unless it's grossly underpaid, they
Susan Crew wrote it up in a Hong Kong Study Circle journal, and I have a few covers like that. It's usually a red color and stamp.
Postage Paid Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And what they did was the post office discovered that you own them so much, and they actually sent you a reply card, and then you're supposed to stick this postage stamp on the card and send it back to I think ML Center or something. Well, and provided you're honest, but most people collectors just pocketed the card. Anyway. Yeah, thank you very much, Alice. That's very, very interesting, and certainly it's worth studying further. Anybody got anything to share before we call it a day? No. Oh, Ingo, how's the journal coming on? The next journal. You need
Joe. Last time I spoke to Joe, he said he had 3 articles. He is still looking for more.
Okay.
I'm going to have that book review, and I'm going to have maybe another little article about a destination cover.
Yeah.
But definitely everybody at this meeting, we encourage you to send short, long, intermediate, just pictures, send material to Joe Trousey so that he can get the next the April issue is going to be coming out in hopefully early April.
Yeah, right. It's easy. I mean, we talked about things, and we could just write a little page or two to Joe, and then he can publish it and see whether there are any other members have response, because obviously we have 100 and something members. I mean, many of them are not really sort of following the Zoom meeting. And
right.
that what we have been discussing, so it would be very nice to have their input.
He's on the verge of getting involved in Hong Kong Philately itself. He's trying to pick a subject. I know he's been in touch with a few different members to say, what should I start with? Treaty. He was going to buy a lot of treaty ports at an auction here in Toronto. But the item went missing during the auction. It was on a live auction, and it was withdrawn during the auction because the guy couldn't find it.
Oh my God!
So now he's thinking, okay, Postman's Beat Shop, but no, John Wilson does that. So he's trying to find a specialty. I said, just collect Hong Kong and find your way.
Branch office, cheap and cheerful. Treaty port's too expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy Charles Chan's cornered the market.
because Andrew Zhang induced me to do so.
He cornered all the best pieces.
No.
So it's going to be very cheap, very expensive.
All the good pieces will be in Andrew's collection. Yeah. You can see it from the Study Circle, their website. All the good things are there.
No. Branch office, definitely, for sure. That's my choice. Yeah. Or postage dues, in fact. That's another area which is plenty of them around at a very reasonable price, I think. Anyway.
Yeah, we talked about postage dues. You might go in for postage dues.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Very reasonable and understudied as well. Nobody knows what this T something means. I mean, nobody knows. It's never been any study or any interest because there are so many of them around. But it really is. You get all these numbers like T over 120, 240 or something. Nobody knows. Why is it like that? You want something that you can study rather than something that you collect. and then
Yeah.
everything's known about it.
Yeah, and Joe is studious. He isn't just an accumulator. He wants to study a subject.
Right. Okay, so yeah, and nice to see you all guys, and see you next month. Well, thank you for attending the meeting, and I wish you a very good morning, afternoon, or evening, and see you next month. Okay. Well,
thank you, Andrew. Bye.
Nice to see everybody. Take care.
Yeah, take care.
Okay.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.